Way.
Hey, welcome to the second game. We've moved on from Pikmin and we're on to Banjo-Kazooie.
And I'm playing this time.
And I am watching and heckling or whatever.
No, I'm really good. So screw you.
Yeah, I have to say I've been like really excited about playing this. It's been a while since I played it last.
Should I delete that one?
Yeah, you can just get rid of that.
Okay.
Someone started that game for some reason.
3 seconds long. All right.
Oh,
sorry, person.
big game.
We'll start.
Thumbs up, let's go.
Yeah, and this is the old N64 one, so I've got this abomination of a controller to use.
Yeah, it's
Should be fine.
pretty horrendous, but
my hands are huge, so I actually...
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, as a kid, I didn't realise what everyone was talking about and how bad it was, because I actually hold it with my hands on either side. You can't see it, but
wow, he really does, yeah.
On either side, and then just using my thumb in the middle.
That's
so
hilarious.
It's just like a normal controller to
wow.
me.
That is hilarious.
Which is great, because, you know, it means I'm really good at all N64 games. Or all I play against my friends.
You can reach all the buttons, yeah.
Yeah, when we go around to friends and they're like, let's play GoldenEye. And I'm like, sure. And then just like, wreck. Because this is... pressing all the buttons. Anyway, this is... This is a witch called Gruntilda, and she is hideous.
She's butt ugly, and she wants to not be butt ugly anymore.
Yep.
And
so she kidnaps Banjo's sister, who magically disappears throughout every other Banjo game after this.
Yeah, that's a good point. What I also find hilarious is, like, in this little opening thing, like, she's still quite deluded. Like, she thinks she's pretty banging, and then all of a sudden the cauldron's like, nah, mate, there's someone else that's better than you.
Sorry, bro.
And she's like, one thing I also love,
it's
like,
a child.
Yeah, I also love that 64 rare era thing of having eyes on everything.
Oh yeah,
like, but those really googly eyes that are just
like that.
Yeah, it's so good.
Here we go.
Oh, she's
frolicking free, like a 2-year-old should. And then she gets to the house, and it's a poop.
Or is it?
No! It's a molehill native to England. I remember seeing them all the time. In fact, there was one time when I was in first school where the entire school literally gathered around the field because there was a molehill being made.
Oh, cool.
No, it was really interesting to watch.
Yeah, that would have been fascinating.
It was if you had like a bird's eye view, you just see like a huge crowd, like a festival size, just around this molehill being created.
Just as well, the mole probably didn't know what was going on.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would flip out if it was like, what the hell are all these people watching me building a house?
Are molehills even houses? I'm not even sure. I think it's just
like the front door, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't remember. Know. Shows my lack of mole knowledge.
Yeah. Well, it's like they're not the. I mean, they're kind of interesting animals, but they're not the they're not the most glamorous in the animal kingdom. So all I know, like, this kind of you have that basic knowledge. Like, they're blind, they live underground, they dig and stuff. Apparently, wear glasses and checkered clothes occasionally.
Old Britain stuff. We don't have them in Australia, do we?
No.
No, I'm pretty sure.
We don't have moles. We have...
They're rabbits and foxes because we brought them over.
Well, we have, like, I suppose the closest thing to a mole, it's not very similar, but, like, we do have, like, wombats do kind of make burrows underground.
Humongous moles.
They get massive.
They run at, like, 40 kilometers an hour.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
actually do some damage, like, if they want to hurt you and they get a good run up at you. Like, they're solid things.
They're like a tank version of moles. They're like if you were playing some kind of mole RPG and you leveled up your mole as a tank, it would be a wombat.
Big and beefy.
I'm starting. God. Alright, here we go. This torch thing. I'm going to start by doing all the Spider-Man stuff. I'll probably skip the tutorial stuff.
You can do... what we could probably do, you could skip the tutorial thing, but we can just run around and pick up the honeycombs. And then, like, if you haven't played, you get an idea for what. It's just basically all the running and jumping and basic moves.
Yeah, so... I hope I can remember them. Alright, sweet.
Talking about my friend. The thing I always remember about this is, like, after a couple of playthroughs when you just knew how all the tutorials would go, you just kind of press B and then you just use whatever moves to get, like, you're supposed to bait, like, all of the honeycombs are meant to teach you a different move. but then you just press B and just kind of jump up and get them all. Like, whatever.
You bet we're good enough, friggin' mole. Get out of my way. That's right, you run. Yeah, alright. Now to remember what those controls are.
It's very similar to the Mario controls.
Yeah, I've got a good idea. So, character with the face, die. Yeah.
Oh, I remember, like, there's all these things that you only ever see once in the game when you first pick up an item, and they're just like,
oh yeah,
no, you have to
right
do
at
the
start.
thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy enough. I'll figure it out. It's all good.
I do like all of the little musical stabs and little things they have for all this stuff are quite cool. All the appropriately used banjo music.
Oh yeah. What's his face? Grand Coco did like an impeccable job on
It's a
this.
fantastic soundtrack.
One of my favorites, easily.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
Didn't it get into like the top 100 Australian ABC Classic FM?
no,
things?
I don't think it. I think it was actually the British Classic FM one, but
Okay.
where they did the big because. Well, for those who aren't familiar, every year here in Australia, the ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, their classic FM.
Oh, it's the Australian, bear that in mind. For
Yeah.
people who live in America, it's not the American one, which
Yeah.
has the exact same name.
Yeah,
It's the Australian one.
the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Yeah, their classical music radio station does a viewers poll every year, the Classic 100. It's like a people's choice thing, but they. Quite a lot of the time they do it themed. They have various things, and so I think they've been quite boring recently. But
Yeah, the latest one was like the most romantic music.
yeah,
It's like,
they
wow.
have this thing that they do called swoon, which is just pretty much meant to be all of the classical music that gets you excited. But yeah, without dwelling on that too much, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the British one had this. It was like it was like 500. They did. It was like a special occasion one where they did like the 500 best. But we'll say classical music, but this one also had a lot of like film music and game music as well, which is quite interesting. And Banjo-Kazooie did make it into that list, which I was very happy with because it's a great. Like overall, the music and the kind of sound design in this game is just creates a great atmosphere.
Yeah, it got actually quite high, didn't it? I remember it being in the top 100.
Yeah,
maybe.
it was higher than I thought it was. Actually, a lot of the game scores that made it on, I was quite surprised. Well, firstly, some of them I was surprised with. They got like selected in the first place, but then how high they rated. Like, there was obviously like Skyrim was in there.
Skyrim was like top 10.
Skyrim was super high. Yeah,
which is warranted.
completely
obviously.
deserved. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great to see something from because I think it's kind of modern game music is much more. Well, I say modern, like contemporary game music is much more conducive to that because you have more traditional kind of writing, scoring instruments.
Yeah.
But like this kind of era of the kind of sound font.
Yeah, MIDI
samples,
sound font, all that junk.
yeah, that era. Like, it's good to see some of that being recognised for like the. I mean, I still love the Banjo-Kazooie score, even though the samples are dated. It's a great. It wouldn't.
Well, that's kind of the charm of it, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
doesn't sound realistic, but it sounds really catchy, and it's probably the best example of creating this type of music with these limitations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Into the Witch's place we go.
Oh, yeah. Into the we just cross over to the fly style
Yeah.
random.
Alright, so Witch and
You may be young and
little midget who disappears, and then Klungo.
oh, Clungo.
And then, depending on how long I take this, it takes him hours to actually get the machine working. So,
Yeah, because apparently, even though she can afford like a massive lair and all of this crazy stuff, the machine, like the incredibly important machine that she wants to use to make herself beautiful, has some teething issues. One other little thing I just remembered at that time. I love how like everything Gruntilda says is rhymed.
oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like a great little thing. Oh,
It's me,
getting
Mr.
jiggy
Jiggy.
with it.
Let me do my dance. Oh, lovely.
So
Right.
good.
Now I've got 1 Jiggy, I can get into the next level. Or the first level,
First
I should
level.
say, yeah, rather than... Because Spyro doesn't really count as a tutorial.
No, it's just like so you can make sure that you're not completely incompetent when you get into.
Yep. Which I am not.
No.
As I showed by my skills of killing cabbage. Got the Jiggy.
Yeah.
Shut up, Mole.
Great.
Click, 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 click. I do want to use it. There we go.
This stuff, it's all like one. We just mentioned before, kind of the limitations of the software at the time. One thing I always loved about Banjo-Kazooie in particular, well, this series of games, it was very much a rare thing that they did at this time as well. Although other games did do it, is using, even though obviously the characters aren't like, let's say, fully voiced.
Yeah.
They still have like those voice samples that they use for everyone. That kind of just do the whole like.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
it's just nice because like it would be lacking if those weren't in there.
Yeah, it's funny as well because it's a really easy thing to do these days with our current software. Like, if you're using, I've dabbled a bit in game design myself.
Yeah.
If you're using like Unity or anything like that, coding what essentially is one sample, just pitch bent into randomly to create this kind of thing is incredibly easy to do. But I don't recall anyone else ever doing it, which is interesting because I would expect it to be super cool considering anyone who's played this game.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone who hasn't played this game.
But if you haven't played this game, honestly, like just play it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like you'll love it. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I guess what will be interesting will be to see kind of if it ever does pop up again, kind of when it does, how it's done, how well it's done.
Eat this, you fucking bull. Yeah, and he's dead.
No, but he's sleeping because he wakes up and
Temporarily dead, yeah.
knocked
good.
him out.
Oh, fuck.
It'd be interesting to see, and it'll also be interesting. One thing I am interested to see is we've both backed and have been quite interested in the ukulele Kickstarter project that is essentially like all the old guard of Rare coming back together and making a platformer in the style of what they did best. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, obviously it'll be updated and they'll have the modern benefits and technologies and tools that they didn't have back then. But it'd be interesting to see because they very much have been marketing it as kind of a nod back to their classic era games. It'd be interesting to see how much of this kind of stuff comes through in that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I really hope they keep some of this old style stuff, like the vocals that we were just talking about. The pitch bend single sample rather than multiple ones. Anyway, I just got an ability called Talon Trot, which is super useful because it means I can now whiz through this.
Yeah, and we can.
Give me the fucking.
Not only can you walk faster, you can walk up slopes that
Whoa, like that.
and beat the laws of physics like that. That is one thing.
Whatever.
One thing I loved about these kind of platforming games, these control schemes, is how you could just nearly screw yourself up and then miraculously somehow pull yourself off of the edge. You're getting quite excited there.
Oh yeah, fucking speedrun this. Oh
Yeah.
god, no, I just ruined it. Alright, here we go. And then we have Conga. I forget his name, which I think I've just got to stand on these and make him lob oranges on
Yep.
them, or mandarins or whatever. Oh fuck, that wasn't it. Damn it!
There you go. One more.
There we go. Kind of sunk into the ground there.
And you can... Yep, you're done. And then you can...
Yeah. Ah, so close
nearly.
to- Where is it?
Been looking. There's one thing I loved watching. What's his name? Stivity Bobo, who was like still the record holder, I'm fairly sure, for Banjo-Kazooie 100% completion.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up, but he did it. I think he was.
He
the
did
one
it a
who
while
did,
ago.
In Summer Games Done Quick.
Yeah.
No, wait, he didn't. No one did Banjo-Kazooie.
No, he didn't break it. I think he's done it before at things, but he actually, like, this was just him, because I was watching it a while. He's just streaming on Twitch, and yeah, he was running this, and you know, like obviously the 100% run, like every level's pretty much optimized now. But
Yeah.
like it's just fascinating to see the familiarity that they have with these levels. Like, you know, just that point there where you get the conga jiggy from the tree. Like he is able to run to like exactly the point where the jiggy will land, so that it just bounces out of the ground. Then he's already got it. And I think
yeah, no, he's very, very, very optimized.
yeah,
Which is crazy.
crazy.
Anyway, I just got the egg ability, which we'll probably show off next time because we're at the end of our first episode. So
You've just learned how you can
tell the
poop eggs
bottle-
out of your butt.
bottle, shut up, and then we'll carry on. All right, so we'll see you next time.
Yeah, these horrible puns.
Shut up! Yeah, eggs. All right, that'll do. Good.